With the release of the new Chill season, I've wondered what other weapon kits might make the cut for Splatoon 3. So, I put together a list for potential kits of each weapon in the game. Also, if a weapon has a kit already, I'll make a third kit for it. Additionally, I'm not the best with every weapon, so if you have any critiques for me, please let me know in the comments. I'll be categorizing each weapon by its class, so for example, I'll have shooters, but I will separate them with shooters and semi-autos, and then of course blasters, rollers, brushes, etc. Alright, that being said, let's begin, starting with the shooter class. So, for Sploosh, I decided to give it Splat Bomb and Trizooka, because it gives it more range and more control compared to what we have already, which gives it a new playstyle. For Splatshot Jr., I decided to give it its Splatoon 2 custom kit back with the Auto Bomb and Inkstorm because people like double Auto Bombs. And for Splash-O-Matic, I decided to give it its old beta kit back with Suction Bomb and Zipcaster that we saw in the trailer. And honestly, if there was any Zipcaster shooter weapon, I would say Splash is the best pick for it. Now for Aerospray, I made it a more combat-oriented weapon, since with its previous kits it's all about painting. This still is about painting, but it has some offensive capability with the Burst Bomb and that triple Ink Strike. With normal Splattershot, I decided to combine with the vanilla kit from Splatoon 1 with its Burst Bombs, and the 10 Attack kit from Splatoon 2 with Inkjet. I think it will work very well for it. For 52 Gal, it wasn't really much, I just wanted to give it a super aggro kit with the Curling Bomb and the Reef Slider. For NZEP, I decided to give it more offensive capability with the Auto Bomb that people like in Splatoon 2, as well as Triple Ink Strike as a homage to its Splatoon 1 counterpart as well. With Splatshot Nova, I decided to give it a more aggro kit than the previous one. While there is support with the Wave Breaker, it's meant for location and damage, and the Burst Bomb obviously helps with chip damage to not make it a 5-hit kill. Now, I know what you're thinking with Splatshot Pro, this is busted, but trust me, it's not as crazy as you think. Forge Splatshot Pro existed, so I decided that it already has a really good kit, so I decided to give it another one that could be useful. Splat Bomb, a lot of people like it with Pro, including myself, so I decided to give it that. And Antenna Missiles, while, yeah, it is annoying, it won't be able to span as much because due to the low paint mobility from this weapon. So it'll be fair and balanced, especially with the recent Tinted Missile nerf. Now with 96 Gal, I decided to give it a more offensive kit. Splash Ball having its being more support oriented, but it can still cover for itself like with 52 Gal, and Crafting just to give it overall offense. Finally, we got Just Sculpture with an actual kit for once. Now we have a Burst Bomb and Killer Whale to get that chip damage and that long range capability. I know you might be scared about giving Burst Bomb back to Jet Sculpture, but hey, we survived Carbon Burst Bomb, so we should be fine. Now on to the semi-autos. For L3, I desperately needed its Burst Bomb back, so I decided to give it that, as well as Inkjet for its Splatoon 2 kit. Now with H3, it's debatable that it can be good with Wall, considering Cherry Splatoon 1 was really good. However, I decided to give its old Splatoon 2 kit back with Suction Bomb and Big Bubbler, because I personally enjoyed that kit much more. Finally, Squeezer. I gave it Splat Bomb back because it was really useful in Splatoon 2, and decided to give it Crafting for offensive capabilities. Now onto Blasters. For Luna Blaster, it was a bit hard because it already has two very good kits for it, so I decided just to up that with Angle Shooter and Reef Slider. If Angle Shooter gets buffed, this would be really good for Luna Blaster. With Normal Blaster, I decided to mix in its Splatoon 2 kit by replacing the Toxic Mist with Splat Bomb and Inkjet. For Range Blaster, I give it more its Green kit back with the Burst Bombs, but replacing Tinted Missiles with Triple Ink Strike because it can help with its paint outcome. With the new Clash, I finally decided to give it justice by bringing back its Burst Bomb that was long forgotten in the trailer for Splatoon 2. Don't worry, again, it's not going to be as crazy. We have faced Carbon Burst Bomb before, so this should be not a big deal. And decided to give it Ultra Stamp as well to give it the most offensive kit that Clash has ever had yet. Now for Rapid, I of course needed to give its Torpedo combo back, and for the get-in, I decided to go with Reef Slider. There are other specials for it, but I think Reef Slider will be alright for it. With Rapid Blaster Pro, I decided to go with a complete support aesthetic. Splash Wall to also help itself, and to just give all-around support with the allies, and Tactical just for helping others as well. Now onto the rollers. Now since Carbon already has its Dream Kit, it was a bit hard for me to get the another Carbon kit, So I decided to just make this one up. With Torpedo could be really good for it, as it combos well, and Crab Tank just to give it more aggression. With Normal Roller, I decided to give it Fizzy Bomb because honestly it's a better mobility than Curly Bomb, and it can help with just overall pressure, and Crab Tanks for the same reason as Carpet. Now with Dynamo, it's in a very tricky spot right now. It's not really the greatest, and now with this kit, I decided to combine both of the best Dynamo kits. Splat Bomb because it really needs a bomb, and Booyah Bomb because it was the best special it had in Splatoon 2. Now with Flamesa, I decided to make it a true support, giving it Squid Beacon a triple ink strike, which would help out their teammates. Now with Big Swig, it's not really the best weapon right now, and if it doesn't get any buff, then this can honestly be the only reason why Big Swig would be viable, is with Sucky Bomb, 10 and missiles. Yeah, this is kind of the only way to make Big Swig viable in other modes besides zones. Sorry, Big Swig players. Hopefully you'll get a buff. Now, onto the brushes. For Ink Brush, I decided to give it an overall survival build, based on what it was in Splatoon 2, replacing Ink Armor with Big Bubbler, and giving it Suction Bomb because I really did not want to give this thing Sprinkler. And with Octobrush, I decided to give it its Splatoon 2 kit back, with Splat Bomb and Inkjet. And I changed it up because, well, there's already Suction Bomb on Octobrush, so I decided to give it Splat Bomb this time. Now onto the Chargers. For Squiffer, I decided to give it an aggro build since it already have its support kit back. Suction Bomb and Crab Tank should do it pretty well. For Splat Charger, I decided to bring it back its Splatoon 2 kit, giving that Splash Wall and replacing the Bomb Launcher with Triple Ink Strike, since that's basically the replacement for this game. Now for E-Leader, I decided to give it the beacons as it usually uses for its deco, and Booyah Bomb because, well, it's Booyah Bomb and it's like the best backline special. For Bamboo, I decided to help out in multiple areas. First of all, Burst Bomb gives it mobility and chip damage, which could combo with the actual shot itself, and Crab Tank gives it also mobility and survivability with the HP it gets. For GooTuber, there wasn't really much to do with it, so I kind of just brought back its Splatoon 2 kit, considering that it's no longer shared with Squiffer, so GooTuber can now fully shine with this kit. For Snipe Rider, I decided to give it pressure options. Fizzy Bomb helps with pressure, and Ink Storm helps with the pressure, and it can combo well with its multiple shots. Overall, this kit is meant to put pressure on the enemy team. Now onto the Sloshers. Of course Slosher had to get Burst Bomb back. It's the most famous combo, and I know that Angle Shooter exists with the combo that we have already, but I just miss Burst Bomb so much. And for the special, I decided to give it Trizuka as a nod to the Soda Slosher. And hey, this might be the kit for the Soda Slosher, because this will be the third variant. For Tri-Slosher, obviously I had to give it its back iconic Splatoon 2 kit that just broke the meta, with Burst Bomb and Big Bubbler. I know it won't be as broken considering that Big Bubbler is a more balanced special than Ink Armor, but it will still be very good for it. Now for Machine, it already has its perfect hit with Fizzy and Booyah Bomb, but I decided to give it a more mixed line / backline role with Splat Bomb and Ink Vacuum. I mean, the original Sloshing Machine did have Stingray, didn't go well, but I think Ink Vacuum is better for Sloshing Machine anyways because it can get into the action more. For Blob, I decided to give it back its Splash Wall because I desperately want it back. And instead of the Bomb Rush it had in Splatoon 2, I decided to give it Triple Ink Strike to replace that. For X-Bolt, I decided to make it the ultimate back wall with Squid Beacon because it doesn't really use its sub-weapon that much, and Booyah Bomb. Now, onto the Splat Lanes. For Mini Splat Lane, it already has its perfect kits already, so I decided to try something new with it. I tried giving it Torpedo so it can have its location effect and distraction, and Zipcaster because this is probably the only Splat Lane that might have access to Zipcaster, since it's fast enough to charge. For Heavy, I decided to combine some of the best Splatoon 1 kits it's gotten, and a way to deal with Chargers with Splash Wall and Killer Whale. For Hydra Splat Lane, it already has its perfect kit again, so I decided to give it Splatoon 2 kit, which was a pretty decent option for what Hydra was in the game with Ink Mine and Big Bubbler. For Bullpoint, I decided to give its true support properties with Squid Beacon and Tacticooler, and yes, the Squid Beacon Tacticooler combo will be abused on this weapon. For Nautilus, I wanted to give it more mobility and chip damage. The Fizzy Bomb easily does that, and Crab Tank helps with it perfectly, giving it the perfect aggro kit. Now, onto the dualies. So, Dapple's in a really weird spot in this game, considering that it's just a worse version of Tetra. So, I decided to redesign it completely, giving it Burst Bomb and Kill Arrow 5.1, making it unique from Tetra. This kit also helps with mobility with the Burst Bomb and chip damage and more range for it. And it's overall just a really good kit and gives you a reason to choose Dapple over Tetra. For normal dualies, I decided to just give it back its end parry kit from Splatoon 2 because I desperately missed that kit and I want it to come back. Now, Dually Squelchers is probably what I'm going to get the most hate on, but hear me out. Dually Squelchers already has a really good kit for it, and decided if Angle Shooter gets buffed, this would be really massive for it. It could combo very well and can scout out the enemy, and Triple Ink Strike can help with its painting capabilities. Now, Glugo already has its perfect kit again with the Wall and Booyah Bomb, but I decided to give it its next best kit that I had in Splatoon 2 with Fizzy Bomb and Ink Armor, of course replacing Ink Armor with Big Bubbler, and the bubble actually helps out pretty well with Gluga considering the fact that it needs a shield sometimes when attacking, which is why Gluga loves Splash Wall so much. Now remember what I said about giving Dapple its own identity? Yeah, Tetra's here just making Dapple Navu just obsolete and outclasses it. With Torpedo and Big Bubbler, yeah, this is one of the better Tetra kits. On to the Brellas. Now, all I gotta say for Undercover is hashtag bring Kunder back. Seriously, this kit was so amazing in Splatoon 2, and it was one of the reasons why I mained Undercover. I want this kit to return so badly. Torpedo fits perfectly for it, giving it multiple distractions for the enemy, and actually makes the long kill time actually worth it for this thing. And Big Bubbler just makes it even better. So, again, hashtag bring Kunder back. For the regular Brella, I decided to give it a Bomb because it desperately needs it, and Booyah Bomb because it just demonstrates how much HP that this Brella can have. This is the ultimate HP tank. That isn't Tenta, at least. Speaking of Tenta, here it is, bringing back its Splatoon 2 kit because its Splatoon 3 kit is actually pretty decent. And this is just another playstyle that a lot of people liked in Splatoon 2 with Ink Mine and Ultra Stamp. Now, onto the new weapon classes, starting with the Tri-Strainer. Now, the Tri-Strainer class is in a bit of a weird state, so I decided to give it more of identity flair. With the Fizzy Bomb, you can do chip damage and mobility, which is something that Tri-Strainer desperately needs. And with Wave Breaker, not only it helps with location, but it also helps with chip damage that can use to combo off with the Tri-Strainer. Overall, this would be one of the better kits for Tri-Strainer if it were to be in. And for Reblux, I decided to give it super offensive kits with Burst Bomb and Inkstorm for just coverage and control. Hopefully people can choose this kit and actually pick up the weapon instead of just using it for Tenta missiles. Now onto the Splatana class. Starting with the Splatana Wiper, I decided to give it another super aggro kit, instead giving it Burst Bombs, which is Splatana's next best option. However, I decided to also give it Reslider as a little balance opportunity. So, you can choose the first kit, which comes with the Torpedo and Ultra Stamp, or Burst Bomb and Reslider. Both are very good options and depend on the player's playstyle. And finally, Splatana Stamper, I decided to give it a more support-oriented role, considering that Stamper's range is really good. I decided to give it Fizzy Bomb for chip damage with the Long Sword Slash, and Tactical to help out teammates and themselves, and also you probably won't have to run QR as much on this kit. And with that, that's all the weapon kit ideas I have so far. I tried my best to combine multiple kits from past games, bring some fan favorites back, and create some interesting kits that give the weapon another playstyle. Let me know what you think about these kits. Like and subscribe if you like my stuff, and I'll see you guys later.